Hi, this is a quick walkthrough of the WordPress dashboard. So before we can get started, we have to answer the simple question. How the heck do we get to the WordPress dashboard? Well, for the majority of you, your WordPress dashboard is accessible at your URL /wplogin.php. Now, there are several options that allow you to change the location of this, but this is the default location. Once there, you will enter your username and your password. I frequently check Remember Me. That will remember you on the website for several days. If you happen to forget your password, you can click on this Lost Your Password link. You will just need to enter your email address or your username, and it will send you an email with a password reset link. I'm going to go ahead and log in. This is pretty common for what you'll see when you log into a WordPress website. It's very common that you will see a number of notifications here. Lots and lots of plugins love to leave you notifications. So here, a plugin has left me a yellow notification. Well, these notifications work a lot like logical colors. Green is just kind of a good thing. Mostly green means you don't have to do anything about this. There's no issue, it's more just informational. Yellow means, well, it's recommending that you do something about this. And red means it's strongly recommending that you do something about this. Now, this happens to be a test website, so right now I am blocking access to robots. What that means is I am not allowing Google or Bing or any of the other robots to view my website or index my website. So I'm not going to end up in search results. In my case, this is very intentional. So if I wanted to, I could click I know, don't bug me, and then this would go away. Here we have a couple green notifications. I updated the Yoast SEO plugin, and it wants to tell me that I can view what the new features are. It's also suggesting that if I want to, I can recalculate my scores. I'm going to dismiss these two by simply clicking the X. This last one is a yellow. Now, since this is a test website, I don't have any live forms for Contact Form 7, so I'm going to dismiss that as well. Next, you have your At a Glance section. This tells you how many pages, posts, comments, etc. that you have running. It also tells you your current WordPress version and what your current theme is. And since I have discouraged robots, it tells me search engines are discouraged from viewing this site. If I hover, you'll see it gives me a little information. Activity. This is frequently where any recent comments would be posted. If I had a website that was a blog and it was receiving comments, any new comments would be posted here in the activity section. Yoast SEO. This is one of the plugins that I have installed on the website. Frequently, different plugins will add things to this. Quick Draft. This allows you to very quickly start creating draft posts. Some people like it, some people don't. WordPress News. This is updated news from WordPress. Now up here we have screen options. And what we can do is we can show this additional section called a welcome. Welcome is very common for people who have just created a website, but since this website has existed for a while now, I have dismissed it before. But this welcome area allows you to quickly edit your front page, add more pages, add a blog post, view your site. It has a lot of really simple and straightforward things. But I don't need those. I'm also going to remove Quick Draft because I don't personally find it useful. These tiles can also be rearranged. If I wanted to move activity down there, I could. I could move it back. You can also collapse these. If you want them to stick around but not actually show the full details, you can collapse them or expand them. Also up here you have help. This will give you just a general overview and may provide you more specific help on various plugins. Different plugin authors have provided information in this help. So for example, this would allow me to visit the documentation for the WordPress Dashboard. I'll quick go open that up. And this is going to show you the WordPress Codex. Now, this tends to be a very technical document. I don't generally recommend that beginners try and read it. Last up here will show you your own personal profile. It will say hello, your name. It will allow you to edit your profile or log out. In the upper left, we have About WordPress. This will allow you to go to the WordPress.org website, view some of the documentation and the support forums. Generally speaking, if you are brand new, you may not want to view any of the documentation. It tends to be written very technically and can be very confusing to people who don't have experience writing code. Up here is the title of your website and will also allow you to visit your website. You can visit the front page of the website by clicking either Visit Site or by clicking on the title. Here is your comments. If I had any comments that were awaiting moderation, that means that someone had submitted a comment, but I had not yet approved it to be viewable on the website. New. I can create a new post, a new page, add media, create a new user. SEO. This is from one of my plugins. The Yoast SEO plugin has added an item to this dashboard, to this very top little bar menu up here. A variety of different plugins will add things to this bar. You should not be alarmed if you see 10 different things up here. That's just based on the plugins you have installed. Theme options. This is something that my theme has added to this upper bar. Again, many themes as well as many plugins add things to this bar. You should not be alarmed if you see 10, 15, even more things up here. From this homepage, we can click on Updates. If there were any updates that this website needed, it would tell me right here. Right now it says that it has checked for any updates, and it says I have the latest version. Good. It's also telling me that minor security updates will be installed automatically. That is a more recent feature of WordPress, and that is standard on more recent WordPress installs. Plugins. If I had any plugins that needed to be updated, it would tell me here. And themes. If I had any themes, it would tell me here. Our next category is posts. Posts are used for blogging. One of the okay, wow, that just went badly. X. Next is posts. Let me go back to dashboard. Updates. Next up is posts. Posts are used for blogging. If your website will have a blog on it, you will put all of your blog entries into this post section. You just add new and you can create new posts. When you're creating a post, you can give it a title. I'm not going to do anything fancy right now, and you can put content in. Now, once you have entered a title, you will get something called a permalink. Permalinks allow you to have a permanent link to an article, a page, a blog, anything you want within your website. Over here on the right, we have the format. Depending on your theme, you will have different formats available. Categories. These allow you to group your posts by a common category. For example, on my own website, infira.com, I have a category for WordPress. Posts about WordPress, I attach a category WordPress to them. That way, people can easily sort and find different posts. Tags. These are extra little bits of information, and they're entirely optional. If you want to, you can tag your items. If you don't want to, you don't have to. As a simple way to think of categories versus tabs, categories are more like your meals. You have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Those are most people's meals for the day. Tags might be specific foods, such as spaghetti, or pasta night, or I love tomatoes could be a tag. That would just be extra information about your post, but not actually a key sorting factor. Featured image. Featured images may or may not be displayed depending on your theme settings. Additionally, various plugins will add their own sections to your posts. For example, Yoast SEO has added an SEO section to my post page. And your theme may add its own post options. For example, the theme I'm using has added post settings, and this allows me to select the layout that I want. Here on the left, you can see categories and tags. Once you have created various categories and tags, this allows you to manage them. When I am leaving a page where I've created a draft, I have made edits that I have not saved, I will get a pop-up. And it will say that I can stay on the page and continue editing, or I can leave the page and I will lose all changes that I've made. I am going to opt to leave the page. Media. This is where you store your images on your website. You can also upload PDFs or Word documents, anything that you would like to be downloadable. As a general rule, I don't put either audio files or video files into the media library. These can put a lot of drain on your server resources, and there are other better ways to distribute those files. You can add new by clicking on Add New, or just by dragging and dropping a file here. For example, I will drag and drop something from my desktop. You'll see it uploads, and there's now a new image. I can click on an image, and I will view it. It'll tell me the file name, what type of image it is, when it was uploaded, how large it is, the dimensions of the file, and give me a URL. I can also put captions, alt text. Alt text is very useful. This is what a screen reader or a search engine would use to understand what this image is. So in this example, I'm going to put Infira Web Design and Development, because that would be the alternate text. If a screen reader was looking at this image, that would be the meaning of the image. Now, changes here to this information is saved automatically. You don't need to do any separate saving for it. You'll see up here, once I clicked off that field, it popped up a short little saved message. The next section of the website is your pages. Now here, I already have a few pages made. you'll note that there are a couple of informational items: post page, front page. Your post page would be where all of your blog posts would be assigned. Your front page is the home page of your website. And your other pages can be used for whatever you'd like them to be used for. I'll quick edit one of the pages. You'll notice that the edit page and the edit post look a lot alike. But here you'll notice an interesting difference. I am using a plugin called Visual Composer on this website, and you'll notice that it has added a whole editing section to the page editor. And again, you'll see I've got some additional theme settings down here, plugin settings. Sorry about that. And you'll notice that instead of having categories and tags, I instead have page attributes. Now, parent means that I can make this page a subpage of another page. This is particularly useful if you have a large website. For example, if you offered services and you had 5 different services, you might want to have a dedicated page for each of those services, but make each of those dedicated pages a subpage of the main services page. This will affect your URL structure and also just makes things easier to organize on the back end. Template. Depending on your theme, you may or may not see template. Template is used to determine which of the available templates this page will use. For some websites, you could have 50 different templates. For others, there will only be one template. If there's only one, you won't even see this appear. Again, this depends completely upon your theme for what options you have here. Comments. If you allow comments on posts or pages, it's also possible to have comments on pages, you would see them here. You have all, pending, approved, spam, and trash. There are a variety of plugins, such as Akismet, as well as several others, which will automatically detect spam and put spam comments into the spam folder. Pending means that the comment has been submitted but has not been approved and needs to be approved before being posted. Approved means that the comment has been approved and has been posted. And trash, it's a trash can. All will show you both pending and approved. Contact. Here I have a section on the site called Contact. This is because I have installed a plugin called Contact Form 7. Therefore, it has created a whole section to my website dedicated to contact forms. A variety of different plugins will create different side items in the sidebar for you to perform different functions. You'll notice that I also have Visual Composer. It has created a section in my sidebar, Yoast SEO, iThemes Security, and Contact Form DB. These have all created sections in this sidebar. Next area we're going to go is Appearance. Appearance houses a number of different items. The first is your themes. Here you can see that I have 3 themes installed, and it will tell me which one is active. Right now I have a Fruitful Child active. Themes can have a variety of different options for them, and they include a Customize button. This Customize button here is the exact same thing as clicking this Customize link here. And this will bring up what's called the Theme Customizer. It will tell you your active theme, and it will tell you any particular items that this theme has enabled for you to customize here. You can leave the Theme Customizer. The next section is Widgets. Widgets are available depending on your website. So for this website, it has a number of widget areas. Your widget areas are controlled by your theme. So you will see that I have a header right widget area. It has a text item in it, and it says call us. I will go to the home page, and you will see here, call us, and the phone number. Back to widgets, there are a variety of different widgets available. The widgets displayed here as available will depend on both your plugins and your theme. Some common ones are archives, a monthly archive of your site's posts, calendar of your site's posts, categories that have been assigned for posts, custom menus, and a variety of other options. Very common is text. This is arbitrary text or HTML. This is used a lot, such as in my example here. Menus. These allow you to assign navigational menus to your website. If you have multiple menus, you will get a drop-down of different menus to select. If you change your menu, you just click on Select and it will update to display that current menu. You can add and remove items from your menu, you can reorder them, you can make sub-items, and you can also assign specific theme locations. The locations available will vary by your theme. On this site, you can see we have these 4 items as our main menu. And here they are, the 4 items. Next, I did reorder a couple of items here within this menu, so you'll notice that it asks, am I sure I want to leave this page because I have made changes. I'm going to say leave page. Theme options. This is available depending on your theme. Everything contained in this section will be controlled by your theme. So I am not going to get into any of the details other than this allows you to customize your theme. Next up is Editor. Editor will allow you to view and edit the files within your theme. These settings depend on the settings that you have set up for your website, depending upon your hosting provider, depending on certain plugins. You may or may not have the ability to edit anything in this section, or this option for editor could be completely removed. In general, these are CSS and PHP files. If you edit them, you can break your entire site. A special word of warning, if you see a function called functions.php, if you make so much as a typo error in this file, it will turn your entire website into a white screen. At that point, the only way to get your website back online is for someone to manually go in via an FTP or file manager and fix it. There is no way to recover an error in functions.php from within WordPress, so don't edit it. Plugins. This is where you will store all of the plugins for your website. Plugins are used to extend the functionality of WordPress. Some common uses for plugins: contact forms. These allow you to display forms on your website so people can contact you. Security plugins. These enhance the security of your website when used properly. And I have a few other things. Visual Composer. This is a visual page builder. This makes editing and doing advanced layouts much easier. And another common plugin, Yoast SEO. This is an SEO plugin to assist with certain features. Users is the next section. Here in Users, you can see the various users that have been assigned to your website. If you ever have a user in here that you have no idea who they are or why they are there, you should probably try and find out. You should update the users on a periodic basis to make sure that only people who actually need to have access to your site have access to your site. Over here in the role column, you'll see the kinds of roles that people have. This is very important. If you are running an e-commerce site, you'll most likely have a couple of people who have an administrator role, and then probably a significant number of people who have either a customer or subscriber role. That's because if you have an e-commerce site and you allow people to create accounts when they purchase items, you will end up with a lot of users on your website, but they should only have a customer or a subscriber role assigned to them, depending upon your e-commerce plugin and how that manages everything. Next up, tools. This has a few different tools for your website. In general, you will spend very little time here in this section. This allows you to do certain imports, certain exports. There are also some tools such as database migrations or redirections, which may add some additional options here to tools. In general, do not use anything in tools unless you understand what it does and what the repercussions of using it may be. And our last section to talk about is the settings. I am not going to go into any detail on how to use these settings. That is a separate video. Please go watch it if you have questions. This is just a quick overview of the dashboard. So, settings will contain two sections. The first is your general WordPress website settings, and the second are plugin settings. So here, general, writing, reading, discussion, media, and permalinks. These are all WordPress settings. You'll see here no page comment and fruitful shortcodes. These are both plugin settings. Now, a brief word of warning to anyone attempting to edit settings. Do not, unless you are a WordPress developer and know exactly what you're doing, ever edit WordPress address URL or site address URL. Do not edit either of these two fields unless you are a developer and know what you are doing. You can take down your entire site by doing so much as a single character typo in either of these fields. The fields you would want to edit are site title, site tagline, the email address of the administrator for the website. Usually your default role is a subscriber. If you have an e-commerce site, it may be a customer. Time zone. This allows you to set the time zone for your website. I live in Pennsylvania, so I have set this website to New York as the time zone. Pennsylvania wasn't an option. Just pick a city in the same time zone as you. Date format, how you want dates on your website to be displayed. Time format, how you want times on your website to be displayed. What day you want the week to start on. This doesn't really affect most things, but you can set it if you want to. And of course, your site language. This is pretty important to set this correctly. And you can save changes. Writing controls some of your writing options. Reading controls some of the viewing options for your website, such as the reason why I have this blocking access to robots, because I have gone in here and I have said discourage search engines from indexing this website, because I don't want them to. Discussion allows you to edit things related to comments. This allows comments, disallows comments, controls how quickly a comment can appear, what the approval process is. Media controls your media settings. If you have uploaded a plugin that makes alterations to media, it may have added a section here for its settings. and permalinks. Any plugins that you add which have their own special link settings will get added here to this permalinks. Permalinks, if you make any changes to this section, you may end up with all of your URLs on your website changing. So generally set this up once. I recommend post name, and then after that, don't touch it. And that concludes the sections. Everything else here on this left side menu is specific to a plugin, so I'm not going to cover it as this is a general WordPress dashboard overview. Please view some of my other tutorials to see more specifics on different areas of WordPress.